so she's gonna be like around.
That's completely fine. That's completely fine. Just making sure that we are on Instagram and moving right now. And we are live right now, just to let you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. I'm actually on live as well on my Facebook.
Okay, cool, 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 cool.
Works. My lighter isn't working for my Sage, which is unfortunate. Get it, almost. There we go. That's better. I see you better now.
There we go. What's up?
How's your quarantine?
Who's that? Who's that in the background?
Who, Diva?
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody else. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you guys coming in. I have myself and Mr. Ashley, the poet, in the building, waving to you guys right now. Waving hello, hello, hello. For those on Instagram, I do apologize. The sound might be a little delayed with the video, but we're gonna keep this going. Welcome into the lyrics. Now, Ashley, did you tune in the last episode we had? For the first episode, we had Little.
You're kind of going in and out, and your face is a little paused. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
So let's make sure that everything is working. There's a feedback on Hit Get It. So I don't know if that's like.
There's a what?
Feedback.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right. But you can hear me good.
I do hear you.
Okay. Is it still frozen or is it much better now?
Definitely frozen. Hold on, I'm gonna refresh it.
All right. So just waiting for Ashley to come back in so we could get this. Everybody say I sound crazy right now. What do you mean? All right, you know what? Maybe I might need to refresh my page. Hey, Princess, I see you. Okay, if I sound crazy, I'm gonna try to make sure we get that fixed. All right. Okay, sounds better. Okay, just waiting for Ashley to come back in so we could get this started. All right, there we go. There's Ashley.
Sorry, I forgot to press and actually enter into the studio.
No, it's completely fine. It's completely fine. I just want to hear back from those that are watching on Facebook. Please let us know if what the sound is. Let us know you can hear us. It's very important that you hear everything that we are. It still sounds bad?
Yeah, you're still paused, and the sound is still.
Are you connected to me through the laptop or your phone?
Nah, I'm most definitely on a laptop. It's not me. Like I'm really active and everything is moving, really good on my end.
Yeah, same thing I see here. But I do hear a feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Jones, tell me which is it me that sound funny or is it Ashley? I just need to know. So they're saying that when you join, the sound switches up.
Yeah, so it just sounds like a phone thing that's just going in and out. I have a.
Is it possible to join the link through the phone? Do you have a phone that you can join the link through?
Is it possible to do what?
To join me like through the phone. Sometimes the Wi-Fi has issues depending on the laptop and whatnot, and So because since everything is on Wi-Fi, but sometimes it's easier to like broadcast through like the cell phone.
Let me see. I'm about to see. I'm about to see. I'm about to see right now.
All right.
Give me one
So
second.
guys, just give us a moment. We just want to make sure everything sounds right. Shout out to everybody on Instagram right now. I see you. I see you. Sip tight. I see you. Soulful Grace Finesse. I see you. Butterfly. I see you. Brianna Blanco. I see you. And everybody that's joining us on Facebook, I see you as well. Kevin Jones or Jones Kevin. To Monica Braswell, I see you. Professor. Appreciate you guys for coming in. How's everybody's day been going? I'm very excited to discuss, to get into this, into the lyrics with Ashley, the poet. Ashley,
Okay, there we go. I want to come
uh,
see you.
oh, it
It's
sounds much better.
yeah, it's really small. Let me zoom in. Turn my camera.
I mean,
I mean, I know you can see me. I want to be able to see you. That's all.
okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah,
No.
people get the thumbs up. They said it sound much better.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to get back on the Facebook because a lot of people was
Yes. Okay.
engaged with that. So I basically just switched everything. If that makes sense.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna let you get settled. Thank you. Thank you. They said everybody said it sounds much better. I see. Kiki Bands is on here. Charles Jewell. Joseph, Donna, shout out. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling? How's your day going? We are live on Facebook. I'm mirroring the Facebook through our Instagram. So the video might be a little delayed, but definitely bear with us. Bear with us. Bear with us. Ashley, once you get set, just let me know because I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Everybody got questions for you.
5, 7, 5. Oh, okay. I'm trying to multitask here. This is my first time.
Oh, trust me, I did this last week, so I'm a little bit better at it now.
It goes in and out a little bit, but I hear you. Okay. Okay, I should be locked and loaded now. See, I got the sage going on. Woosah.
All right,
It's
you
working.
good?
I'm good. Yeah.
So tell us how this whole quarantine experience has been for you so far.
Um, really annoying, but it's been working. I'm in a state where I'm also trying to just be grateful in a way because there are like there we go. Yikes. Okay. There are a lot of people that, that's not working, all that other stuff. So it's like I'm being grateful at the fact that I still have to work and everything like that. All my businesses are still going on. The only thing that's been on hold is the photo shoot. So it's like right now I'm just being thankful. I'm just dealing with it. I'm enjoying the time in the house too. It's not all bad. Got some things going on in the works that's about to come out. So things been okay. It's been okay.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it's good that you're definitely holding on. I know it's a pretty tough time for everybody. Everybody, regardless of whether you're working or not, regardless of whether you're getting money or not, it's tough. But we're all affected in one way or the other. All right.
Exactly.
So without holding and delaying, I definitely want to get into this. Uh, we got 1 hour to discuss this, and it's. I read your piece before you came on, and I'm like, it's so much in it to unpack. It's a dope piece. It's a very reflective piece. But before we go into it, let's get into the poem. I'm gonna let you definitely. Are you playing the poem or you performing it live for us?
I will. I'll I'll do it. If I slip
Come
up,
on, read it. I want to hear you read it. Yep.
if I slip up, then I just slip up because
You,
it's
well,
that poem
well,
back from 2018 has been a while.
man, you talking to somebody that's been writing since 2006. Don't play me.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
Uh-huh.
I
What's
definitely
going
get
on,
it.
Sean Battle? I see you.
Huh?
I'm saying what's up to the people that just came in on our
Okay.
Instagram.
I'm definitely, I'll do it for you. I'm gonna start it. I'm just trying to get the live on the Facebook too, because I want to be fair with it. Then we gotta start with that first, huh? Well, obviously, right? So they could know what lyrics we talking about.
I see you sipping on something. What you got over there?
Wine.
Oh,
It's good for
what kind
soul.
of some Moscato? It look like.
Yeah, it's a pink Moscato Sangria that I have now. So yeah. I also have to say, I give the biggest shout out to my team, Evolute Culture. I know they're somewhere watching as well.
Yep.
So
I seen Sean Battle. I seen Sean Battle out here on Instagram. So shout out to Sean Battle. Evolute Culture all day.
You seen what? Yeah.
I said I
Seen
see
something that said
Sean
shout
Battle.
out to. Oh,
I said
Sean Battle.
Sean Battle,
Oh, I
right?
thought you was saying an actual event. That's why I was a little confused. So you were saying shout out to Sean Battle. Yeah, word. The biggest shout out to the CEO of the situation.
Right.
Come on, I'm trying to get this going. Well, the name of this poem is called "Learned Life."
Learn
For
life.
learned life.
Okay.
Yeah. For a long time, I didn't name it because for a long time I didn't name none of my poems. But for a very long time, I did not name this specific poem because at the time it was just like I couldn't grasp exactly what I wanted to aim for, if that makes sense in a weird way. I could not I just couldn't put a word to it or a name to it, or if that makes sense. I think what made the poem better overall is that to look at it from a year or 2 years afterwards and read the poem and do the poem is like how I learned life. And so when I put,
Okay.
that to it, it was just like, okay, that's what I want to call it. That's what I want to name my poem. That's what I want to title this poem. So I got the idea of learn life, and I just went from there. I love it, honestly. The poem to this day, this poem still sometimes it gets me in a vulnerable stage. It gets me very emotional. It might get me, angry because I talk about so much. I talk about a lot with my family, with my father, and a lot of people that know me know that's something that I was always hesitant and scared to talk about. So
Right. It's a very transparent piece, but let's not discuss the piece until after they hear the piece. You feel me?
so favorite.
Yeah. So we ready whenever you are. I see Gail is in the building.
Hey,
Who is a cop in here? You hear that?
No, everything sounds good.
Okay. What I'm trying to do here, so you don't think I'm going crazy, right? Look, I'm literally trying to go live on the Facebook and I cannot figure it out. That's how much I don't really be on it. I'm so sorry.
Well, you could just share this live from my page. I could share this on your profile if you want people on your page to see
and
it.
and do a watch party.
Right. You could do
Yeah,
a
you
watch
see, I could
party.
just share it.
Yeah, it'll be much
You're right.
easier.
You're right. Word. Can I
Oh,
do something right quick, Thomas, and then I'm gonna pick you up, okay? All right. So let's go. Let's get into it. I'm nervous.
it's all right. Before you go into the poem, who do you have with you? You got to introduce him.
Huh?
You got a little friend right there. I see it in the corner of the screen.
I have.
Can you hear me?
Oh! You added somebody else. Oh, okay.
No, I said you got a friend in the corner of the screen. Who's your little friend?
Oh, Adiba.
What's up?
Adiba. Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, she's not gonna go away. Sorry,
It's all right.
she's not gonna go away. I don't know if y'all see her. She's literally trying to climb on me as we're like.
That's cool.
And, like,
that's all right. If my daughter was awake, she'd be doing the same thing too. So that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I get it. I'm not tripping. But yeah. Okay.
Everybody sipping on something. I'm on a 30-day water challenge. This is like my 8th day. Yeah, that haven't had nothing else but water that I've been drinking.
Nice.
Hi, Gail. I think you featured for us, I believe.
Yes, I did. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. That's why I'm looking. I'm like, wow, she looks really familiar. You look really familiar, yeah. That's dope. That's amazing. Perfect. Yeah, I got it. All right, perfect. All right, here we go. So you're still waiting on me, right?
Yep, I'm waiting. I'm ready for you. Everybody, we got 13 people on Facebook. We got 4 people on Instagram. They all waiting on you to spit right now, poet.
I'm coming right now.
The poet. Oh, what's up, Lex Pierre?
Okay. I'm not gonna. Sure, this is gonna stress me
What's going on, Mr. Glasgow? I see you.
You ready?
Yep. Over to you.
Cool. Learn life. I have something to prove. It's not to y'all, but it's for myself. And I'll do it all again, but change the way I handled my wealth. And I might lose some more friends because back then we did not know ourselves and we supposed to say, good luck to our accomplishments. But I'm steady saying good luck to y'all health. And don't think I'm here to bash the woman because I write and I include myself. And don't think a man taught me anything that I know because no man could not give me no help. Because they tied my father to a belt and threw him behind that cell when all he did was trust a snake that was plotting for him to fail. I pray to God every night that he stay up in that jail because he know I'm out here hustling. I could pay his bill. I hope no fuck niggas try him, but I hope that helm break because I don't know what I'll do if I get a call and they say it's too late. And I don't trust nobody around me because my senses telling me they fake. I try to test some people out and I feel the shade and a handshake. 9 times out of 10, you have to watch the friends around you if you hang with more than 8. With a circle that's too big, somebody liable to take from your plate. And how are you a full black dude, but your girlfriend is a snowflake? Her parents will never respect you, lock you up, and call it a date rape. And it sucks because they'll never understand you because they started with a clean slate. Everything they do is us, and I say it with no mistake. But there's no racism here, baby. I don't mind white icing on my cake. I just need you to sit from afar because I don't know when your love just might turn into hate.
Ooh.
Ashley the poet. It's the end. Thanks.
Snap. Yep. So you get a lot of snaps out here. Shout out, Princessa. All right. So that piece, right? First question that I have about that piece is that do you remember where you were or in the instant when you started to work on that piece, or what was the instant? Now I know sometimes it's a situation, but if you can think back, do you remember where you were or what specifically inspired you at that moment to say, I'm gonna put a pen to paper?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna rephrase your question. I think I heard you because it went in and out again. I don't know why. You said, do I remember where I was or what inspired that to put it from pen to paper?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. I'll answer that. I've never spoke about this before. So it's crazy that you asked me that. Um, but all honesty, where I was when that what inspired that poem, I was in a jail cell.
Come
Wow.
on.
I was
Yeah.
I was stop, I was in a cell, cuffed to, a banister, and I just kept hearing it like in my head. Like I kept hearing this piece, these words. I kept hearing, like, the cops. I kept hearing, you have something to prove, you have something, to go for. I just kept hearing these things. So it's like out of nowhere, I was just like, like I was sick of my old life, and
Oof.
being being in a cell and being locked and fighting for your freedom and knowing, the system. Um, I just had to prove it to myself. I had to, like, yeah, I had to. So like literally like the next day from that, I text you and I came to a Blue Coaches event, and yeah, just kind of like released it.
I mean, and that ties in right into the first that ties in right into the first line in the poem. It said, "I got stuff to prove,
Mm-hmm.
not for y'all, but for myself." So at that moment that you find yourself in that place, it's like, I guess where you were, you're like, man, I got to do better.
Yeah,
Is that mom's in
exactly.
the background? That's your
No,
sister.
no,
Who's
no.
that?
That was Angie.
What's going
Yeah,
on,
that was
Angie?
the video.
Don't be sneaking up. We can see you.
She's like, they could see me. I can have all this. No. No? I want more. But
So
sorry.
I'm listening.
But yeah, man, that's what inspired that, man. That's what gave it that push, gave it that motivation to just let it all out. I had to.
And
Yeah, I had to.
Gail, if you want to chime in any time and just let me know, pretty much if you have any comments to say.
Yeah, I wanted to ask now, when you said that you were in a cell, was it a metaphorical cell or actual cell? Because I know that, sometimes, because you said that you were tired of your life and you knew that something had to change at that point. So was it a mental cell or was it an actual physical cell?
Um, yeah, it got. I could say it was mental, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely it was mental all the way, because the physical, it was nothing towards the physical, like if that makes sense. Like I've already was on social media, I was already reading my poetry, I was already like in that type of a thing. So it was my mental. I had to get my mental right. And when I had got arrested, when I was going through that situation, it was just like I was more in tune with my mental, if that makes sense. You
Mhm.
know, if that, like, I was more in tune with it, because when you're fighting for freedom, or you have nothing else to lose at that point, you don't care about physical. The physical
Right.
don't matter no more. You know what I'm saying? Because if your mental stability isn't right, you're gonna lose yourself 100%. So it was definitely that.
It's crazy because that's so real. And I don't think I have for a single moment I would have ever thought you were physically in a certain place when you wrote that piece. See, when most of us hear that piece, you know, we would have never put you in that where you were. And that's why I really love just being able to dive a little bit into the story behind the lyrics, to actually just talk about it, because it lets you build that closeness with the artist, with their work even more. Um, whew, okay.
Was it difficult to write it, or did it pour out of you easily?
Both. It didn't pour out of me immediately. I'm not gonna say that. No, it was extremely difficult to write it. One of the things that I like to tell people a lot is that I can't speak for other poets, but it's painful to be a great poet. It's painful to go back to those traumatic experiences, dig deep into those, and write about it, let alone tell the world about it. It's
Right.
painful. It takes a lot out of somebody to do that. So when people get on stages and they pour their heart out and just simply get in tune with their feelings, like that's just
It's
outrageous
a
to me, you know?
vulnerable,
And so,
it's such a
huh?
vulnerable state to be in. When you said that it was painful, I read something one day that said being an artist is like having a cut on your arm that you let heal, and then you have to rip the scab off over and over
Ooh.
as you are sharing it. So
Mm.
like every time you share it, you have to rip the scab off
Scab
so
off?
that, and then you have to heal again, then rip the scab off.
I can't.
Mm,
Right.
I
Right.
can't hear you.
It's like you have to relive that moment again.
right.
So we could stay here and discuss this all. I think, did I lose Ashley? I hope we didn't lose
I
Ashley.
think she was saying that she was having trouble with her mic.
Okay, with her connection. While she's, hopefully she gets back in here. I'm gonna put some of the words of her poem on the screen. And she said, "I got stuff to prove, not for y'all, but for myself, and I'll do it again." I wanted to, pretty much once hopefully her screen is able to get back in here.
I like
Okay.
what she says, change the way I handle my wealth, because
Right.
I'm wondering, is wealth meaning the gift that she has within her, the gift that God gave her, change the way I handle my wealth. Sometimes,
Mm,
we take for granted those gifts, and we're not good stewards over it. So is that what you meant when you say that? Change the way I
absolutely.
handle my wealth?
Yeah, absolutely. I had to because the way I grew up, like down south, it was real flashy, you know. My father, he put a lot of money towards our way. So I was like 8, 9 years old walking around with MK bags, you know. So when I moved to Jersey and grew up, I was splurging like it was no tomorrow, you know. And so I had to change, really. I had to change that mindset. I had to change that mind frame.
Oh, so it's actually literal.
Hmm?
So it was literal. You have
Oh
to
yeah,
change the
that's
way you
yeah.
handle your wealth.
Everything, absolutely. Everything that I put, I try to write about. I make sure it's like 100%. Yeah, it was literally that, like 100%. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, although it's
100%.
literal for
That's
you,
literally what I had to do.
and
Push that
although
through.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
literal for you, I
Unfortunately, but
know,
yes.
although it's literal for you, I think, even for the listener, because
I can't hear.
like Gail mentioned, your wealth, pretty much, and
Skyson,
you
I can't
never.
hear you at all. I don't know
Gail, can
if
you
this
hear
is
me?
frustrating.
I can hear you.
You can
Okay,
hear me? Can you
um,
hear him?
I can
I
hear.
can
I
hear
can
you.
hear.
I can't hear him. This is so weird.
I think, yeah, I'm not sure. We're having some technical difficulties. We'll try to work with it. Um, but
I
in
don't know
worst
what's
case
going
scenario,
on. What is he saying? I can't hear him. This
I
is
know how
crazy.
it feels because I was in a different situation, the same, where my connection was acting up, and I was like, I couldn't hear him.
This is like wow,
can
crazy to
you hold
me.
on? Let me see.
Let me see. I'm gonna try one more time with my computer.
All right, so we're gonna wait for her to get back in here. Everybody that's watching on Facebook, please let us know if you can hear us real good. Give us some thumbs up, give some hearts. I just want to make sure that the words is getting out. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can't help with connection. She's still on here, so
I hear you.
is it better?
I hear you. I hear you. It's
Okay.
loading. I don't see your face yet, but I hear you. So that's what matters.
Okay,
But
that's
like
good.
what you were saying,
Go
God,
ahead.
about how when as an artist you might write, you're writing something and it's coming from a real place for you, but for the listener it can be interpreted in a different way, and when the listener explains to you what they felt and what they saw in that, you can kind of see that maybe it was an unconscious thing in you that you didn't even realize that you were writing, that they caught that you didn't even catch.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Because when she said the way when she talked about the way she handled her wealth, yes, you could talk about double changing. You could talk about wealth as in money, but also life is literally wealth, and is how you handle it, how you handle this gift that's given you called life. So that's how I definitely took it. Uh, I don't want to. We definitely got to make sure we move along. While Ashley tries to get back in here, she's trying to reset herself on the other end. I just want to go a little further down on the lyrics. It says, "Might lose some friends because back then we didn't really know ourselves, and we supposed to say good luck to your accomplishments, but I'm saying good luck on your health." I really want to get into that with Ashley.
I really
But
like that line too, because it really speaks to how what we value. And in her awakening, she's saying good luck on your health, because knowing that your health is wealth, you know what I mean? But we're such an accomplishment driven society, you know? So that's what people mostly focus on. So I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here.
Ashley, yeah, I just highlighted. I just highlighted
Where
so
we
you can
are.
see
Yeah.
kind of where we are right now. Yeah, so we were discussing about the whole, might lose some friends, which it's a reality. Because back then we didn't really know ourselves, and that's I think anybody that's an adult that's been a kid, a teenager can relate to that, and to the fact that yeah, I mean, there were 8 times where we didn't know better. Uh, and we supposed to say good luck on your accomplishments, but I'm saying good luck on your health.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, I wanted to stop right there and kind of just talk to us what you were trying to say.
I'm trying to say exactly what it said. Yep. Because your accomplishment's not going nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? You could be 50 years old and still be accomplished. They're not going nowhere. School not going nowhere. And I'm not saying don't do it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm big on that. I graduated from college. That's not going anywhere. However, your health, that's life threatening. You understand what I'm saying? The way the generation, the way I was brought up, the way young girls and the guys are moving and getting involved with each other nowadays, the way people are eating nowadays, the way people handle their health nowadays is completely bad. So it's like, pause on good luck to your accomplishments. How is your health? How is your mental? How is your disabilities? That's what's important. Like, that's what's really important, because once you get that certificate, what's next? You understand what I'm saying? If your mind not right, if your mental not right, you're still dying in the inside. So it's like, yeah, I had to put that. I had to put that because it was me. It was me. I graduated from college after 5 years and then lost everything: my job, my car, my clients, everything, and was depressed for like months. So, like, I went through that, so I had to write it. Okay, yes, okay. I had to write it. That's what I went through. Like, I lived it, So I had to put that.
that right there is that's powerful. That's powerful. And again, it's a reminder, like you said, you could accomplish all of this stuff, but never lose sight and focus on your health. Which, if we tie back to the first line, is wealth. Your health is wealth. That's just
Exactly. If you ain't
this
healthy,
this
then
this.
Yeah, health is wealth. Yeah,
can't make money if you're sick.
that's right.
Sorry. You gotta stay
Man.
focused. That's important. Definitely.
And I'm gonna read a little further. And
I
please
was
don't
just
think
gonna
I'm here to
say,
bash the people because I
I was
write
just
and
about to say
include
that a lot
myself.
of people, I get a lot of backlash from my poetry. Let's put that out there. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people think I'm great, and they tell me, you know, what they tell me. But I get a lot of people that think I'm on a high horse. They think I'm better than people. They think I'm bashing black men. It's like, no, absolutely not. Everything that I write in my lyrics and my poetry, I went through. I've never written a poem about anybody else unless somebody personally asked me, write me a poem. Everything I write and talk about is something that I lived and I seen. Anything I say regarding to a black man is something that I went through and that they put me through. It's unfortunate, but it's my truth. So it's like people, I don't know. Sometimes people don't be understanding that. They don't be understanding that at all.
It's not even that. I think it's people don't like. I mean, people don't know how to handle the truth. It burns. Pretty much. Experiences are hard to. Most people don't feel comfortable even sharing their own personal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So when they hear facts like that, it kind of, my pastor used to say something whenever he say things and it's quiet, like in the church. He say, if you can't say amen, say ouch.
Ouch.
That
Respectfully.
and those are the ouch moments that you
Respectfully.
those are the ouch moments that that happens, whereby you keep it so real, so honest, to the point that people like, okay, if you feel like you could share things that real, do you think you better? No, I'm just sharing my reality.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
And hopefully we can both grow from this.
And also, like, I don't think a lot of people know that I'm an ordained reverend. So a lot of times when I have to get up and speak, God gives me these hardcore messages. And sometimes I feel like people might think I'm bashing, but sometimes I have to pause in the message and let them know that I had to be the first partaker of this message before I can give it to you. And a lot of times I'm preaching to me. A lot of times I'm talking about me. It was hard for me to swallow. So I know it's hard for you to swallow. But it's a mistake for you to think that I'm on some self-righteous, on my soapbox, because, I had to take this beating first.
Right.
I had to take this truth first. You know what I mean? So it's like that in art.
Wow. Absolutely. I had to take this first. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. People, I don't know.
And sometimes it's also because you do have people out here that write stuff like that and it's not real. And and I think that's just to make it sound good, just to, and it's so you can't get mad at people. I think as long as you speak your truth, that's the most important thing. That's what, and it's that 1, 2, 3 people that's in the room that you're gonna touch that matters, because there's somebody that's going through that or has been through that can relate at that moment to you. And sometimes all you could do is just focus on the positives.
Right. And also, remember when Mary J. Blige said in her song, "If you're down on love or don't believe, this ain't for you." When she's like, I don't wanna be without you. That's the thing. Like, if it's bothering you so much, if it ain't for you, You know what I mean? But it's for somebody. It might not be for you right now. It may not
Right.
be something that you can relate to right now. You know what? So my thing is, I always say, if it's for you, take it. If it's not, file it under G for garbage. But if it's for you, take it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Howard.
that's how we
Yeah.
have to approach when when we're artists, that everybody not gonna be right here with you. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
But
not at all.
we're reciting and we're singing and we're writing for those who are.
Exactly. Not at all.
So, so they say, but there will be someone who resonates. This is a comment from Princessa. There will be someone who resonates with. I'm guessing with it. That's who it's for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Most definitely.
sometimes, and this is just to all poets out there. And sometimes it's not even about it resonating with somebody, but more or less you releasing this part of yourself. It's my
Woo!
sometimes it's not even for them at all. Like, so I feel like sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves, like we want to touch somebody with what we're sharing. At times, there might be nobody in the room that can relate with you, but for the fact that you don't have to carry that pain just in your mentals, and it's a freeing experience. It's freedom. The fact that you're able to just share yourself in that way. Sometimes it's just for you. So don't so worried about somebody. If somebody touch, we say great. If not, I've shared my story, I've shared my truth, and it feels good.
Yeah. And
Yes.
like
Exactly.
so many times I've come to the
Exactly.
cry out cave and I've listened to poets and I can't relate to their story, but I feel privileged that I was able to hear it, and that they invited me into their heart. You know.
Mm. Yeah. People.
So this is real good. This is real good. So the next line says, and don't think a man taught me anything because no man couldn't give me no help. I guess this is the part where a bunch of men got offended, and I see a bunch of hearts on the screen. People ain't hating this right now. People more loving it. People loving
That's
this one
good.
right now. Because they tied my father with a belt and threw him behind that cell. That's sounds very harsh. And like you said, this is literal. Like a lot of your writing is literal. I just want to know that. I want to hear a little bit of that story. When all he did was trust a snake that was plotting for him to fail.
Mm.
Yeah. Um,
Woo!
yeah. Just like it say, word from word, man. Like, my father, he went to jail right before I went to prom. So
Wow.
I kind of lost my dad around the time where I needed him most. Imagine being a young black girl going to college with no
Right.
adult figure. You understand what I'm saying? So you can only imagine what I went through in them dorms. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And he went to jail because, unfortunately, he grew up in that lifestyle and that drug related lifestyle to provide for his family. My father got 11 kids, so he did what he had to do. And I give my dad the utmost respect, man. But they did that. They threw him in a cell. They threw him in a jail and messed up our relationship. I think my father, he was gone for 7 years, and we talked probably 10 times in 7 years. So it was harsh, and that was the story behind it. I would never go in deep in that story, but that was the story behind it. Putting people on, trusting people, thinking people are your friends, and that's later on in the poem. Thinking people are your friends. Having too big of a circle, and it backfired on him. It backfired on him, most definitely.
Uh,
So it was a unfortunate phase of my life that I went through.
I just want to kind of now I want to know, like you said your father was tied with a belt.
Now that I didn't mean like actually
Literal.
tied with a belt. I meant, going to
Okay.
jail, being in holding cells, being in a hole. It was a lot of times my
Okay,
father. One
got you.
time, I kid you not, cannot make this up. I had got a scare because he probably hate me for saying this, but I had got a scare because my dad made a child in jail, and just doing things he wasn't supposed to do, and I wrote a letter, and I didn't think of it, but I congratulated him on his child. He's in federal prison. So a cop reading that is like, what do you mean he had a baby? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it put him on lockdown. So it scared me when he was on lockdown. So that's basically what I meant when I said, tie him down like that. That's basically where those lyrics come from. Yay, look at that.
Somebody is
Look
up.
who's up from the nap.
There she is.
Oh man. Um,
I wish I could put my daughters on my lap, but they grown women. Like,
you can still put them on your lap. Yo,
they're
yo,
big, they're
yo.
big teenagers and grown women.
Y'all ain't see those pictures of people recreating pictures of when their kids was younger? Y'all ain't see that?
No.
Uh,
What are you doing?
oh yeah, there was some literally they have pictures of their kids as babies, and then they recreate the picture now that they're adults. And then
Oh, I did that. We did that. Well, yeah, my daughter, my niece, my nephew, my sister. We recreated it on Christmas.
Oh, wow. I didn't
yeah,
see that.
hi Joy. Your sister says hi. So man, that's it. Let's it's 6:47. Time is moving pretty quick. You can't even know. So we still got a whole verse to go. It says,
Mhm.
"But I pray to God every night that my father stay up in that jail, because he know his baby girl out here hustling, so one day she can pay that bill. Um, and I hope no F niggas try him, but I hope he don't break, because I don't know what I'll do getting a call saying that it's too late.
Mm.
I can't imagine that feeling. I'll tell you this, my whole life I've been locked up once, and it was for like unpaid tickets, and just being in a holding cell alone. Like, of course, as a poet, I had to write a poem out of it. All right, back then, based on that experience, but I was just being there, just being in that space, in that place, the smell, looking around me. So I can imagine any family member and me just I can relate to, hoping that they'll come home, like hoping that
Yeah.
they are all right when they come home, because that messes you up completely to a whole
Yeah.
nother level.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, most definitely, man. And that's something I had to just live with, thinking about like what will happen, or God forbid if something was to happen to my father and we not talking. You understand what I'm saying? Going 2 years without talking to my dad, and then I get a call and something crazy happened to him. Like that's a fear. That's a heavy fear. I'm a daddy's girl. I'm named after my dad. My name is Michael. And my dad name is Michael.
Really?
So it's like I grew up being a daddy's girl. So it's like I don't know.
Okay. Cool. Gail, you want to chime in before I move forward, or just
Well,
Live.
what came to mind was my brother, and my brother did a decade, and he he's like nothing ever happened to him. He doesn't, but he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't talk about his incarceration. He doesn't talk about the things he's seen. And I sometimes, we see his behavior, and I'm like, he needs to get some kind of therapy or deliverance, or some kind of, he needs to let out whatever it is that he went through. Um,
That's crazy you say that. I'm sorry to stop you. I need a lot of people to understand therapy is real. Like, and a lot of people be like shameful to seek help, to seek counseling, to seek guidance. Therapy is real. And I could speak for myself. I've had times where I've had therapists turn me down and I boo-hoo cried, you know? And then I go through things as being a therapist. And when I talk to my clients and watch them boo-hoo cry. So that therapy thing, like, is nothing more important. All right, mister. Than to get your mental right. Like, people gotta understand, like, if you don't have your mental right, then you're just lost. You're lost.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
I guess the dog trying to put his 2 cents in. He supports therapy.
Because I got all these distractions and stuff.
Oh,
What's
so
that lyric? I'm lost in the sauce right now.
you know what? Let me put this up on so we can see where we at. And I don't trust nobody around me because my sense is telling me they're fake. I try to test some people out and feel the shade in the handshake. 9 out of 10, you gotta watch the friends around you. If you hang out with more than 8, with a circle that's too big, somebody might go to steal from your plate.
Very, very real. Very, very real. Very real. And like I mentioned before, all my lyrics are real. I can't make my lyrics up, and I'll keep them nameless. You Godson, I know you know exactly who I'm talking about when I say this. I lost one of my closest friends. Like, they did me dirty, like dirty. So it's like, I don't, like, that right there is like one of the realest things I could have put in that poem. I've lost so many friends. I've had so many people that were in my life do some of the most craziest things to me. Like, it's ridiculous, honestly. Yo, they don't want to look at your forehead, bro. You gotta talk to them like this. You showing people your forehead. I'm sorry, but yeah. So it's like that part. You have to watch the people around you. If you hang with 1 and 8, because with a circle too big, somebody is taking from your plate. That shit is real. Somebody is eating for free. Somebody going to them shows for free. Somebody getting rides for free. Like, that shit is real. I'm sorry.
Man, I don't think I need to comment any further on that. I think that's just real. I think anybody that's been alive has lost a friend or lost somebody's and can definitely relate to that. Whether it pretty much the message is choose your friends wisely. Pretty much pay attention. Don't take the word friend lightly. Not everybody deserves the title friend. Um, uh, it's okay to be acquaintances with people and stuff like that. So,
No, that's real.
it's okay to keep people at a distance until you know what they're really like or what they're really into. But that's definitely, like you said, that's real. That anybody, you don't somebody comment from Facebook, you don't lose friends, you gain more of yourself. Mr. Brown said, don't lose fake friends, you gain more of yourself.
Absolutely.
So let's
I'm about to say, yo, the next line, my favorite part.
really, I see. I was going to ask you that at the end, but now you put it out there.
They don't like me when I talk about that. I'm sorry, they don't like me. and I try not to offend anybody because I love everybody. You understand what I'm saying? I really do, but they don't like me when I talk about that.
Well, I mean, it's and how you're a pro black dude, but your girlfriend is snowflake. Her parents might never respect you, lock you up, and call it a date rape. It sucks. They'll never understand you because they started with a clean slate. Everything they do is us. And I say that with no mistake. And there's no racism here, baby. I don't mind white icing on my cake. You just gotta sit from afar because I don't when your love I don't know when your love might turn into hate. It's Go ahead. I'm gonna let you speak before I say anything.
No, no, no. I actually want to hear y'all thoughts first. In a weird way, low key, real quick.
I mean, it's one of those, you know, realities that we have to deal with. That moments like the recent shooting that just happened reminds us that you know it's different experience just being a black man in America. Period. Um, and so when you talk about they started with a clean slate, and then I connect that to the whole. Somebody just posted on Instagram how um, I forgot what the word what the how they said it, but how uh, it seems suspicious is like a very dangerous thing. Like just for the fact that we just seem suspicious all the time, and for suspicious, people lose their lives just for suspicion and stuff like that. You said that how you're a pro-black dude. I mean, you pretty much calling him a hypocrite. And I wanted to know if this was somebody you dealt with directly, or what was the origin, or what's behind this part of your piece.
I'm gonna repeat it for the people that's on my Facebook Live. They hear you a little bit, but the lyrics say, um, "How are you a pro-black dude, but your girlfriend a snowflake? Her parents will never respect you, lock you up, call it a date rape, and it sucks because they'll never understand you because they started with a clean slate. Everything they do is us, and I say that with no mistake. And there's no racism here, baby. I don't mind white icing on my cake. I just need you to sit from afar because I don't know when your love might turn into hate." I'm going to break down these lyrics because I don't want anything to get taken out of content or taken the wrong way.
Okay.
I've never experienced it personally. I've dated outside of my race, within my race as well. So I've never dealt with someone who've done that, but I see it. So it caused me to just raise concern. Whatever you like is whatever you like. I don't mind it. I tell her to make you like whatever you like is whatever you like. To each his own. However, a lot of black men bash and talk down to a lot of black women. We have to look a certain way. Our hair have to be a certain way, a certain length. You understand what I'm saying? Our complexion have to be a certain way. We have to smell a certain way. We get compared to certain people. Go tell my brother. Hurry up. So we go through that from our own black men. So when I don't mind a black man dating a white girl or a snowflake or whatever. But when you have the people that's bashing the black woman or trying to uplift to the higher power, pro black this, pro black that, black people is this, black people is that, black queens is this, black queens are that, but you don't date black people. Like I remember one of my brothers told me they only date light skinned girls or white girls or whatever. So it's like it's personal. It's like how are you like that, but you're saying all of this, and then the date rape thing was simply from like movies and stuff like that I've seen. I don't know a personal situation when it comes down to that, so I was real skeptical on putting that. But it's like certain movies. I remember watching Daddy's Little Girl, and I know he went through that in that movie as well. Because it happens to people, unfortunately. But that's what made me put that. And my last thing was I don't know because your love might turn into hate. We don't know. And that's just the real fact. We don't know. And I feel like when shit get real, that's when we figure it out. Or that's when we find out. That's when we find out. When shit get real, it gets separated. When it comes down to the court system, police, all of that stuff, it gets separated. And I'm not lying. You understand what I'm saying? It's been proven. It's been shown to the community and to the society. Like, it gets separated. Black people get looked at differently. They get handled differently. They get treated differently, and it's unfortunate. So yes, you do have to sit from afar. You have to, because I don't know if you love me or if you hate me at the moment. No, I'm not racism. You know what I'm saying? And the whole I don't mind white icing on my cake. I've dated white boy named Timothy. You understand what I'm saying? I've had a Puerto Rican boyfriend. Like, I don't mind it, but I can't prolong it. I can't really get in deep with it because I don't know when your love might turn into hate. Like, the whole time I had a Puerto Rican boyfriend, the mother hated me. Puerto Rican mommy hated me. I wasn't right. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't light enough. My hair wasn't long enough. It wasn't silky enough. So we go through things like that. That I think is real life things. And I'm sorry if it offends anybody or anybody get offended, but as a Black person, I've been getting offended since I was born. Like, yeah, and my grandparents been getting offended since they was born. Huh?
I wanna
Hey, I'm sorry. Stop. I'm about to bite her. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that it's uncomfortable for people to grasp the reality of what you're saying, because it's almost.
You said
I think it's
the reality of what
the reality of what you're saying, because I think
they don't get it.
No, I think it's uncomfortable that it's so real what you're saying that it's uncomfortable for people.
Oh yeah,
and it's the conversation that people want to have in private that they're uncomfortable having in public. We're not crazy when we see that our Black men, and again, like you said, people like whoever they like, okay. But I think when it comes to us and our traumatic experience here in this country, there's a reason for all of our actions. It's a reason for all of our attractions. It's a reason for all of everything that we take to and like. Okay? So, and I think we need to get real about that, because the reality is that we are seeing. I'm not, and Black people will come at you and bash you for what you're saying because they don't want to admit that we are seeing a lot of our Black men, dating white women, marrying white women. And I'm not saying these white women are bad or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, what is your reason? And your reason is because you are attracted to that, because that has been the standard of beauty. That is the trophy. And a lot of people want to say, oh, no, it's not that. It's not that. It is, because one thing I know.
It is that.
It is impossible. It is impossible to live in this hostile society for 400 years, 400 or 500 years, to live in a hostile environment, an environment that has been against you, has bashed you, has told you, has done everything to you, has redlined you, marginalized you, lynched you, Jim Crowed you, and not be affected by that.
Exactly.
And I don't care how big my afro is, I still have to sometimes check, okay, why do I like that? Or why am I attracted to that? Or why did I think like that? It's because it's impossible to live in a hostile environment and not be affected in some kind of way. And for our Black men, a lot of our Black men don't want to admit that the attraction to these white women and away from Black women, they want to say it's our fault. But really, it's just the effects of white supremacy.
And
Okay.
it's just the reality.
It really
It's
is.
just the reality of what we go through.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of what we go through. Because imagine, like I said, I get a lot of people talk when it comes down to me and my poetry. But imagine a little black girl that's 24 years old get on stage and call white females a snowflake. Yeah, I did that. You understand what I'm saying? I did that, and I didn't do it to be a racist. I didn't do it to personally come at anybody. But it's the reality. It's the reality of how I feel. It's the reality of what we go through. I'm not making it up.
Not making it up.
I'm not making it up.
You're not.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? So
You're not making it up. It's
it's
real. And
yeah.
and I have, I have friends who have wives who are white, and I have white sister-in-law and everything like that, and I don't have any problem with them. But when we have to really just look at, you know, why is my palate inclined to a certain thing?
Mm.
You know what I mean? How could you have not? How could you have been force-fed a narrative, an image for 400 years and not be affected?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, we can get real deep into that, but that's a whole
Yeah,
other show, guys.
is-
Man.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no,
That's
no.
a whole other show,
That's
brother.
why I saved that for the end. That's why I saved that for and I have a second part to this whole poem, and I never memorized it or anything like that, so I didn't send it and put it in here. But that's why I saved that for the end. That's why I ended it with that little like snippet of that, because that's a whole different story. That's a whole different like poem.
You're going
That's a
into
whole
a whole
poem.
different
So
territory, sister.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say again, this, like you mentioned, it's a pretty touchy subject, pretty much, and one has to be careful how you address it, because you definitely don't want to come off as somebody that is doing what they're doing, which is hating on, the counter, the other somebody else because of their color and whatever. But it's still a conversation that needs to be had, and realities and truths and experience needs to be shared. And one thing that I don't ever I have some comments on Instagram. Says it's conditioning. Even the conditioning can be conditioned. It's what Don Krypton said on Instagram. One thing that I always try in my life is um, not to knock people for their experience, because just because I don't understand an experience is still an experience. And I feel like people's feelings matter regardless of where it comes from. As long as it's real, I'm not in any position to doubt it. And I am where I am because of the life that I've been privileged to live, because of the experiences that I've been through. That makes up 100% who I am. The same thing for you, Gail. The same thing for you, Ashley. And I'm not in any position to knock anybody's experience. I always tell people, if you look at a homeless man, more or less, just be grateful that that's not your experience currently.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's how I feel. I feel
But
like
go ahead. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
But if they feel like sharing that experience and it was a negative experience in their life, who am I to negate or hate that experience? That's their experience.
That's right.
Mm.
And you have to validate people's feelings and their experiences.
My name is Extra Poet.
Okay.
So
And you do, and that's why I'm really hesitant. I don't always perform this poem. I pick and choose where to perform this poem. But yeah, that's definitely.
It's definitely a conversation starter.
But the thing about me, I talk about it because the average person wouldn't. The average person wouldn't call a white person a snowflake or tell people they date rape people. They don't. They don't really get in those type of real details and name calling and stuff. And I don't. That's not something I normally do.
It's not something. It's not
but
something.
I talked about it because people don't.
Yeah, and it's and come on, let's be for real. It has happened a whole lot of times. So
Mm-hmm.
So
like
let's
Godson said, it is painful, uncomfortable, but it is a conversation that I hate to say a conversation but it is a reality.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I'm gonna wrap up this segment so we can go on.
Yeah, I was just about to say I
Because
gotta
we're
go
definitely a little bit
fix her food
running
soon.
over. Ashley just had to end it with that banger to kind of like drive the conversation elsewhere.
Definitely.
So again, I want to say, Ashley, I know you're hanging out with us, right?
I actually gotta go make her food. That's what she whispered in my ear like 10 minutes ago. Yeah,
That's what she
so
whispered.
when she whispered in
You
my
saw
ear,
her
she was like,
whisper.
yeah, she said, Ashley, I'm hungry. And I try to get my brother to do it, but he went upstairs on her. So I need to go
Hey,
make her a
look,
meal and stuff. But I'm going to definitely try to tune back in. Like, all I got to do is click back in that link and stuff. So,
okay. Well, thank you. Regardless, I just want to say thank you for being vulnerable, being transparent, and sharing a piece of yourself with us. And I hope to have you back on as I'm putting it out there. I'm looking for people, guest co-hosts, to come in and kind of join us on the conversation. One per show that I'm going to be doing going forward.
yes.
So hopefully you're able to definitely come back. Thank you for everybody. We're not wrapping up. Ashley is about to get off. That's why I'm saying thank you
But,
to her.
but
We're about to go into the next segment, which is Miss Gail Campbell that I have sitting right in front of us. So Ashley, you better go take it. Before you go, share your social medias for those that want to
yes,
connect with you. How did they connect with you? And
definitely.
when you share your social media, please also share your Cash App. Anybody just want to bless the artists with anything, as we know right now is a pretty tough time for artists. Pretty much so because some of us we definitely get paid through our art. So
Absolutely.
share all of that.
Absolutely. So I have a couple of pages and I'm going to give them all. The first page I'm going to give you is my poetry page. You can simply find it is Ashley, Ashley, the poet with 2 E's for the, with an underscore. Is a all blue caption picture, so really easy to find. And if you're on that page, you'll see the new poem that I actually dropped this morning, which is really good. You guys will probably like that one. But that's that page, and then I have my regular page, which is underscore Ashley H, and then 3 more underscores. I have my first business page that is Michael Melanin, and it's spelled Mychal, and then Melanin. It's about my black girls, promoting my black girls, my black photo shoot that I do every year. One is definitely coming up soon at Cry Out Cave. Most definitely, it's called 50 Shades of Melanin. So I'm excited about that one. This is my 4th year putting together that photo shoot. Last year I had 25 girls. This year I'm aiming to have 50 females and males. All is welcome to attend. And then my last page is Locks by Poetic, LOCS, then by Poetic. My little poetic justice locks that I do. I just got finished doing a hair client before I got on this call. She literally walked out of my house at like 5:50, and I'm just like, let me just rush and come on this live. So everything's been a rush all day, but I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate it. It's always love. This was dope. I was trying to write the entire quarantine. I didn't do no virtual sessions at all. So this is my first virtual session. This is my first time I performed doing this. It's all love when it comes down to God's sense. So I had to
Like you
do it,
said.
for him. So I appreciate everything. I appreciate the support. And my Cash App is my Cash App is Harrison Ash, just HARRISON, and then Ash ASH. I wasn't expecting that, but most definitely appreciative.
Hey, never know.
But,
Never know. Closed mouths
yeah,
don't
word.
get.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a fact. But all
That's
right,
why.
we're gonna go. You gonna tell them your name? What's your
That's
name?
why little homie told you she was hungry. She
I
wanted to
know.
get
What's your
fed.
name? Oh, now she's shot. Now she's shot. Whoa, almost broke it. But there we go.
The Cash App again is Harrison Harrison Ash.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
just
Talk to
putting
you
in
guys
the
later.
comments so they can definitely see it. All right. Well,
Oh
thank
yeah,
you for
most
joining
definitely.
us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for that.
joining us, Ashley. Definitely go follow Ashley. Go check her out. Check out more of her work. If you're on here, if you want to definitely discuss even further with her, feel free. DM her. Whatever. I think she's single. You could DM her about that too.
Bye. I knew it. I knew it. I felt him doing it. Bye. Bye, everybody. I felt him in my soul. Oh my God. I literally felt him in my soul. God bless. Goodbye.
All right. Have a good one, Ash.
He's so annoying.
Let's go. What's going on, Miss Campbell?
Hey, guys.
You about to have your last name changed, huh? I heard.
Yeah. Yes. I'm Mississippi.
Congratulations, huh? You just got engaged.
I got married
Oh, you got married, not engaged.
April 21st.
April 20th. Man, that's even better. Congrats. That's why you so cheesy, huh?
Yes.
Go ahead, show them that ring. Oh, sure, yeah, go ahead.
I don't have it on right now. I know.
I thought it wasn't supposed to leave y'all for like 2 years.
I know he has his on. I'm so mad. Mine is kind of big. So
Look, it must be an artist thing because I was like that as well. My wife did everything with her ring, literally from engagement, like up till now. It's still she does everything. It doesn't come off her finger at all. Me, when I want to put some lotion on, I will take it off. She'd be like, "What you doing? What you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to, bro. Like, well, why you gotta take it off? Because I would like to put some lotion under the ring, if that's okay with you." The only reason why she takes it off now for to wash dishes is because last time we went to the store, they told her, because we have to like change some stones or whatever. They told her that it lasts longer if you don't, because water could get like underneath, if you're not careful. The stones are, and that's the only thing that got her to sometimes now take it off. So, and
yeah.
honestly, I actually lost my first ring. like, babe, how long was that? Was that weeks into, months into, 1 week?
Oh God!
Was one? Yeah, because I wasn't used to wearing no ring, so and took it off, and I think we went to a friend's house, and somehow it dropped somewhere, and that was it.
Yeah.
But let's move on. So congrats.
Thank you.
Married woman. So should I call you Miss Campbell? Is there a new last name?
My stage name will still be Miss Campbell, Gail Campbell, but officially I'm Mrs. Chops the Savior.
Mrs. Chops the Savior. I'm sure he's watching right now. So shout out to you, Mister. Congrats to both of you. Now let's I did get an introduction from you, so let me just do this the right way. Newark, New Jersey native.
Yep.
Gail Campbell has released a highly anticipated debut album, Bloody Waters. Gail Campbell as a rock and roll, blues, hip hop vibe, and the music paired with Campbell's soulful voice displays a sound that critics are comparing to the likes of such music greats like Tina Turner, Janice Joplin, right? And even Aretha Franklin. With a retro style and deeply personal lyrics, it's clear that Campbell is an artist with a style all on her own.
Yes.
Having Having grown up in the city of Newark, New Jersey, Campbell often explains that her life has been difficult. However, she maintains that the music was always there to help her cope with every hardship. Gail Campbell is the Heritage Hip Hop Album of the Year recipient, and Jam Network magazine says this is what Black Girl Magic sounds like. This is what Black Girl Magic sounds like. Produced by Stanley Ickpit. That's the Mister, right?
Yes. Stanley Ickpit.
Ickkiss. I ain't want to mess it up. Bloody Waters is a beautifully heart-wrenching, soul-redeeming journey through Gail Campbell's heart, and it's also a feast for the ears. Bloody Waters is available in all major music outlets. For more information, we'll talk about that at the end. What's going on? Now that I've officially brought you in, welcome. So shout out to everybody on Instagram. Dwayne Curry, I see you. Joseph Donna, I am Cool Flow. Adventures with Venice. I just want to shout out my Instagram. 365 Push, I see you. I am Waldo, I see you. They're watching on our mirrored image. So thank you for coming through. So Miss Gail, how do you want to do this? You're gonna share the song with us right now?
Yeah, would you prefer I sing it or play it? I'll let it be your choice.
I think people prefer when you actually do it.
All right, what if I sing with it?
Yes, go ahead.
Let me pull it up and I'll sing with it.
Sounds good.
Thank you, by the way, for inviting me to come on.
Man, I am glad and excited to have you here. I'm a big fan of artistry.
The feeling is mutual. I love the Cry Out Cave. I love the whole vibe of it. When I first came, I was like, oh my God, I love this place. To me, it has a Love Jones feel.
Amazing. I'm glad that you feel that way. Just wanted to do what we're doing now, create platforms for artists to be able to definitely continue to grow and express themselves in New Jersey. Because, again, in a time where there wasn't enough, there wasn't enough space for us. So, we're glad that we're able to be the home for underground music and poetry in the city of Newark. So we appreciate every artist out there that come out to support us every show. We have no single funding. This is all artists and people supported. So thank you to everybody, including yourself, who gives your talent come through to the spot and support. So that's love.
Thank you for all you do. Yes,
my pleasure.
I got the song. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm going to let you.
I'm playing this off my phone. I don't know how the audio is going to sound, but let's give it a try.
Okay. Sounds good.
Can y'all hear that?
I'll say turn the phone down a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's a shame how you love me. Oh, hold on. I lost you. I pushed the button. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Let's do it again.
All right.
All right. Tell me about the sound. Too loud?
No, that's good.
It's a shame how you love me, do you turn around and leave? You have no idea how you fractured my self-esteem. My pride don't want to believe how bad I was to see. How could something so right go so wrong? I prayed so long, my love was strong. God, you have some explaining to do. I know my pain ain't entertainment to you. No, look at my dream, my fairy tale. Now hearing that bitch wanna laugh at Gail and wanna be friends like all is well. But you don't know what I feel inside. I was on the verge of suicide, and I was the one that was gonna ride. Now I'm here just holding on, praying that the Lord will keep me strong. I'm just a woman, can't you tell? To hell with all these fairy tales. I. Oh, hey, Cinderella, Snow White, that prince, that night, Cinderella, Snow White, that prince, that night. Oh, how can something so good go so bad? I gave them all the love I had. I never knew I could feel so sad. God, you gotta redeem me, please. I know it's been a while since my mind has been at ease. But look at my dream, my fairy tale. Now he ain't that bitch wanna laugh at Gail and wanna be friends like all is well. But you don't know how I feel inside. I'm loving you by your side, and it hurts when I think of how you lied. Now I'm here just holding on, praying that the Lord will keep me strong. I'm a different woman, can't you tell? To hell with all these fairy tales. Oh, look at my dream, my fairy tale. You don't know love, it ain't hard to tell. You're a typical narcissistic male. And you don't know how I feel inside. Know how I cried when I knew that my heart had died. Now I'm here just holding on, praying that the Lord will keep me strong. I'm a different woman, can't you tell? To hell, to hell, to hell with all these fairy tales. Fairy Tales off the Bloody Waters album, produced by superhuman producer Superman Stanley Ipkiss. I see you, Ken. It's the time again, y'all.
Woo!
Thank
Wow.
you.
Fairy Tales.
Fairy Tales.
That's interesting title.
Yes.
Interesting title. So I'm just we just gonna go right into it. Let me see if I could pull the lyrics up.
Y'all, we about to go behind the lyrics. We're about to go into the lyrics, y'all.
So, go into the lyrics of this song. Hold on. My daughter's she over here twerking to your song. Stop it, okay? You see her?
I see you, pretty girl. I remember when you was in your mommy's belly.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Hit you in the face with my hat. So getting into good with mommy, okay? Daddy's got to work. Fairy tales. All right. So let's start with where were you? What happened? What brought you to the place where you felt you need to sit down and write this lyrics, this song?
Well, Fairy Tales is the third song off of my album, and Ip and I had started making the album, and what I didn't know at the time, we knew that, we were making an album that had a different sound and a different feel, but what I didn't know is that so much of my personal feelings were going to come out on the album, and that the album would be so introspective. So I didn't plan to talk about any of the content of the album. I didn't plan to talk about fairy tales, but when I sat down to start writing it, I asked God to help me to write from a true place, having no idea that it would be such a painful place that the song would come from. So it was almost like I put the pen to the paper and I just started moving my hand, and these lyrics just started coming out. And it scared me because I saw how deep it was getting, and I didn't want to go there. But I felt compelled as an artist, and I felt pulled to go ahead and let it all out. So it was 2 years ago, the third song on the album, and I made the first little snippet, the first couple of lines that I wrote. I sent it to Ip in a little voice note, and he said, "Oh, you're about to get deep," because he heard me. In the first part of the song, I talk about suicide.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm reading this comments. So, whew, I mean, this is very I would say very different from the first show that I had, because I felt like that was on the surface, but tonight it is very personal. It's like I always believe that everything happens for a reason, and each show, even though I don't pre-plan people's schedules when people are available, I always feel like the show comes together whereby there's this common theme, common message, even throughout the whole thing, and I can already feel it. I can already feel it. So, so we start. You can see the lyrics, right?
Yeah.
We start, and it says, "It's a shame how you love me, then you turn around and leave. You have no idea how you fractured my self-esteem. My pride don't want to believe how bad I was deceived. How could something so right go so wrong?" Talk to me. Talk to me, Gail.
It's pretty straightforward, and it's a part. I think that it speaks to a lot of things that we as strong Black women don't ever want to admit, that that sometimes we could suffer and go through a season where we realize our self-esteem has been shattered, and we feel bad about ourselves, and we don't feel good enough, and we don't feel pretty enough. And So I went through a relationship that caused me to question all of that about myself. I went into the relationship feeling very empowered, feeling very beautiful, feeling very talented, capable. But by the ends of the relationship, I was just a fraction of myself. I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel pretty. I felt too fat. I felt undisciplined. I felt all these negative things about myself. So where I said it's a shame how you love me, then you turn around and leave. And like how could you leave me like that? And because you did that, it crushed my self-esteem. You have no idea how you fractured my self-esteem. And my pride as a woman, as a black woman, as the mythical strong black woman, don't want to believe how bad I was deceived. And then it was the question that I continuously asked myself: how could something so right go so wrong? How could something that I gave my whole self to, how could it reject me? I have an ego, and I just never thought that could happen to me. And I told you earlier that I'm an ordained reverend. I was an ordained reverend when all of this was happening, and I felt like, well, these subjects, and this is the kind of thing that I minister to women about. Oh, you're good enough, and oh, yeah, but now here I am in that place. How did I get here? So that's how I was feeling in that part of the song. That's what I'm trying to convey.
Okay. So, and this is something, another verse that I really just feel like no matter who you are, you can definitely relate with. If you ever been through a heartbreak, if you ever been through something that you you had high hopes for, if you ever been with someone that you thought this was it or this could be it, and things end not so good, let's just
Right.
say. And I think everybody's pride get affected, period. You say you have no idea how you fractured, and I don't think people do. I don't think people do, and I'm going to be as transparent as possible. Some time back, I was engaged myself to a young lady who left me, and it took me uh, about a year and some change to get over. Pretty much my mentality, my thinking, my approach towards other women changed just because of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the thing is, it affects no matter who you are. I mean, yes, there's growth. The growth came later, but there was so much anger that came out before that growth. There's so much hate, and even and just to keep it 100, and I'm pretty sure there were other people that were hurt and affected through it, just because of where I was, and just because of what was done to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like they say, hurt people, and it happens. It's not always intentional. Sometimes it's just where they are, and they don't even know what they're doing themselves. They're just trying to get through that moment, that day, that situation. So that's something. James Ellaby said, "This is some real stuff. I can relate from a male's perspective." And that's what I meant about that. Those lyrics you just shared about the fact that no matter who you are, if you've been through a heartbreak, if you've been through a disappointment, it doesn't even have to be a love relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a relationship with a parent. It could be something that just a relationship with a job, with a career, that you can relate honestly to those lyrics, which is amazing. So again, I'm telling y'all, man, artists be really pouring themselves and putting themselves out there. Somebody said, "Look at Gil Campbell sitting up, looking like what's that? Is that a snack? Is that a snack? I'm trying
That's a
to
star. that's
looking like a star."
That's Stanley Ipkiss's wife. That's Mrs. Ipkiss. Thank you, Mrs. Ipkiss.
Man, we have a huge part. James Ellaby said a huge part of my poetry book deals with the pain and heartbreak I felt from a person I thought loved me.
Mm.
Whew. James, we're gonna get you on here. We're gonna get you on here so you can talk about it. I'm sorry, a star. I got it. They educated me. I'm still learning, okay? She said is a star. So let's get back into the lyrics, all right? And go down a little bit further. It's let me see. It's on the screen. It says, "I prayed for so long, my love was strong. God, you have some explaining to do. I know my pain ain't entertainment to you. No."
Right. Because I didn't understand, like, because I was so caught up in that situation, because because of my faith in God, I really believe, if um, I prayed that God would move on my behalf. So when everything fell apart and I found myself where I was in this deep, dark hole, this pit, and the whole time I'm thinking, but I'm your daughter. I'm your daughter. You have some explaining to do. I didn't understand why God was taking me through what I was going through. How could I go through that? And so I was like, I know that I'm talking to God saying, I know that you're not getting joy or pleasure out of seeing my pain. You have to explain to me why this is happening. God, you have some explaining to do. I know my pain ain't entertainment to you. So I didn't understand, why am I going through this? If you're supposed to be in control of everything, why am I going through this unbelievable pain that caused me to want to leave here?
And that's that's a moment that I believe that we all have been at, whereby we felt the need to definitely look up above for some guidance to God and say, like, why, God, why? Why? That's a big thing. And I encourage people, pretty much, even though when I was in my place as well, it was hard for me to ask anything other than why. One of the amazing things is that hopefully later on we can begin to ask how. Like, pretty much, how do I move forward? How do I get away from here? How do I use this situation to grow? How do I grow from this situation?
Yeah, it took me a while to get there. But when I was in my why season of why, I felt like it was a cruel joke, because the way I felt about that relationship, I felt that that we were going to get married, that that I was for him and he was for me. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I saw things in retrospect. I know that I saw things that were not lined up with that, but I didn't want to see it. So when I was in that place, it was like, why? It was like a cruel joke. It was like you dangled a carrot or something in front of me only to snatch it back. And not only snatch it back, but just snatch, just leave me naked on the street. You know what I mean? And I felt like I was like a joke, you know?
Really.
It like it was difficult. It's a
And that's on Instagram. J Mad writes said, I agree. We question what God is trying to teach us. And on Facebook we have a comment as well. I've been there, Gail. I left him while he was at work. Never came back. I turned the keys to the management office. Told him I left. And you got 30 days left on the lease.
wow.
And shout out to you that is strong enough to definitely be able to make that move. For some of us is a little hard. I mean, I was just on Wednesday we had Derek Tavernier on here, and one of his lyrics on one of his lines was talk about God help me remove those that hurt me. Because he was in that place admitting that I'm not strong enough to turn the keys to the office, you know. And I just want to talk directly to anybody that has ever in a place right now where you were when your wise season. Just there is a purpose in your pain.
Yes.
Pretty much. And God has not forgotten about you.
Yes.
There's a reason you're going through what you're going through. I mean, any good story on TV, if you mention your favorite show right now, right, there's drama in it. There's the good times, there's the bad times, there's a bad that happened before the good times. It's life. It's unfortunate and it's painful to go through sometimes. But I just want to remind you, like literally, like and one of my favorite scriptures, or one of the scriptures I love, says that he will never put more on us that we can bear. Like it just shows your strength as an individual, because God knows that you're strong enough to carry that pain and then bring it out and then write a song about it so other people that's going through it can find strength in it.
Yeah. What I didn't at the time I was writing this song, but I just really I was trying with everything I had to hold on and to hold on to my faith. But what I thank God for is that during the whole time, I never stopped praying. I never stopped looking to him, even though I wanted the pain to just be taken away. I wanted to wake up and not feel it. I didn't realize that, it was a process. And by the time I got to the end of the album, I had began to see that it was through that pain that I birthed myself, the woman that God always wanted me to be. And I never would have been her in that relationship. I never would have been her in that relationship.
Mm.
I had to go through that in order to be able to ask myself the question, why was your self-esteem so hinged to a human being? I never would have known that. Why did that the opinion of that person, why did you put so much stock in the opinion of that person? Why? What is it in you? Where did that come from? Where you felt like your day, you allow a human being to dictate if you were going to have a good day or a bad day. So the things that God needed to bring into my face for me to pinpoint and deal with that I would have never dealt with unless he took me there and let me know I was capable to go there. So in that and dealing with that, having no other choice but to deal with that, and I thank God that I'm an artist and I had an outlet for my feelings. I was able to unpack those things and ask myself the question. So now here I am, 3 years later. I'm married. There's no way in the world that I would have believed that at the time.
Right.
I'm a very respected artist.
You are. You are. I'm gonna stop you right there. Stop you right there. Because it's perfect. James said this is why I knew Gail is a special artist. Her title album, Bloody Waters, is so musically I respect you to the utmost. Sing me stop my truck. Like, what did sister just say?
Thank you, James. I appreciate you so much.
You say you're a respected artist, and that's another fellow artist that definitely wrote that for artists as well.
Yes,
he
and
said,
I love his work. I had the pleasure of listening to his work last month, and I was blown away. So thank you, James. Yes, a lot of through that pain, I did give birth to something beautiful, and I understand now the purpose for it. And also, you know, when you are called, I told you I was a minister. So when you are called, like I was saying to Ashley, I had to be the first partaker for something that I'm called to talk about. So.
So this next part is kicks a little bit, turns this conversation a little bit up, and I know that we're definitely gonna go over time. It's 7:52. We got 8 minutes. Hope hang out right and hang a little further. But just put that back on. Is look at my dream, my film. I'll let you call it your fairy tale.
Yes.
Now he and Gail and want to be friends like all is well. So how I feel inside, I was on the verge of suicide. And I was the one who was down the.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes. And
talk about trans.
I didn't, you know, the funny thing about it, Godson, is I don't even curse. But I'm telling you, there was such a real place. That was such a real anger. You know, the anger that came out on this song was something that I didn't even know was there until I started writing. And all of that anger started coming out. And it was like, you know, and when I got to that line where I said I was on the verge of suicide and I was the one that was down the ride, I didn't want to write that. I stopped writing. And I said, God, I can't write that. Because even though I know I was broken on the inside, and even though I know I was so low, I had did a good job of hiding it.
Come on.
People around me saw me as this strong queen, not knowing that I was so broken and low on the inside. And I wanted to preserve their concept of me. So for me to say that I was suicidal over this person, I said, God, I don't want to expose that. But again, God said you have to talk about it. You have to tell it raw. You just have to tell it. So I went ahead and did it. And I went ahead and continued with the song.
And that takes me back to what you told Ashley earlier about the burden that artists have to carry before the message gets delivered.
Yeah.
It's real crazy
Yeah.
because pretty much and that's why sometimes I'm not a big fan of like competition music or poetry competitions
Me
because for some of us like this is really it's more than just you can't rate my pain. Like you can't stand there and put a number on how much pain and what this writing has done for me
Right.
and for others. Pretty much not knocking anybody who's into that.
Right.
Pretty
Right.
much. I've done a few one or two slams
Right.
myself, so I'm not even going front. It's fun, whatever, but it's not something that I do on the regular because it's really a burden that you have to carry. And every time that you step and put your heart out there and put that song out there, you're somewhat in reliving it. You have to
Yeah.
take yourself, you're traveling back to that place just for that moment,
Yes.
for that audience that's in front of you, for the people that are listening.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I would say thank you on behalf of those that are what's the word, those that are not able to share their story but look up to someone like you and say you're a strong woman. And when you make yourself so vulnerable and they like, oh my God, she has battled with some of the same things that I battle with, like them being able to connect with you on that level, it means the world,
Yeah.
right? So I want to say thank you to you, not just you, but all artists around the world that makes them so that allow themselves to be transparent, to be vulnerable when they share moments like this.
Yeah. And I
I do have
didn't realize that until after the album came out. The day the album came out, the text messages and stuff that was coming in where people were saying, that's my story. Oh my
mm,
God. That's my testimony. I went through that. And then I understood, okay, there's a bigger purpose than just creating a dope album. God is doing something different here. So and I was really, really shocked at how many men came and said, I can relate. Or you made me understand what my woman was going through. So yeah.
so I have a question here from James Ellaby. And for those that are watching from home, questions are welcome. Feel free to type up your questions. I'll read them out, and Gail will gladly answer them. Instagram as well as Facebook. He said, "How long did it take to write that song?" I am asking because, and I feel like you touched on this earlier, but I am asking because the most transparent piece I ever wrote took me like 5 years to write because every word I was reliving that moment.
Um Weird thing about the whole album Bloody Waters is I never took a long time to write any of the songs. I really did write them in one or two sitting sessions. Um,
I know
but
why. I know why.
I don't know why. I just know
I
that
know why.
I would sit down and I would pray and I would tell the kids, I'm about to write, leave mommy alone. And I would try to go into that deep place and I would write. And then I would finish it within a few hours or so. But sometimes I would procrastinate about sitting down to write it
Mm,
because something
that's
in
why.
me knew that when I sat down and write it, I don't know what's going to come out. So I
That
would
and
procrastinate.
That is why. That exactly. You just said why it didn't take that long, because this wasn't something you were trying to come up. This is something that you had been pushing back and back because you did not want to. Realistically, you needed it had to build up inside of you. Like it was already written pretty much.
Woo!
Like it was already written because it took so much time for. That's why it took so much time for you to be able to sit down and actually let it out. That's all you needed to do. It was already written. You just needed to let it out. You just needed to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to just let it come out. Which is why when you sit down, when it comes to things like that, the words just flow because it's been there. It's been there. You've just been avoiding it.
Yeah, I'm the queen of avoiding it.
And because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. So again, let's get back. I know there's a few more lyrics. It's 8:01. We're doing pretty good. We're going a little bit over time. Lyric says, let me put it up on the screen so we can see. Okay, it says now I'm just here holding on, praying that the Lord will keep me strong. I'm a different woman, can't you tell? To hell with all his fairy tales. F Cinderella, F Snow White, F that prince, F that knight. And then you repeat that again. How could something so good go so bad? I gave him all the love I had. I never knew I could feel so sad. Woo! I'm pressured reading this. I'm tired. It's like this. This is a lot. This is a lot. Just from an artist point of view, this is a lot just to be able to. I can't imagine how much you were carrying for that long, and that's why, like, even when you for those that came in, y'all didn't hear how she sang some of this part. You could feel it, literally. My wife was in the kitchen, like, woo! Y'all didn't hear her on here, but she's in the kitchen, like, she's like, woo, okay, because you went up there with it. So I always say poetry is my release. That's my saying, right? For those that know me, that's my call and response. Poetry is my release. And this right here was you releasing some heavy weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Pray. Go ahead.
Stuff I didn't even know was in there until the words started coming out on the paper. And when I say, well, now I'm here just holding on, praying that the Lord would keep me strong. That's where I was telling you earlier that no matter how low I got, no matter how dark it looked, and no matter how I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel, I have enough experience with God to know that you have to bring me out of this. You have to keep me strong. You said you'll never leave me nor forsake me. So even in this, I know you have to hold me up. So, and I always tell my daughter, I always had enough sense to keep praying. No matter how low I got, I always had enough sense to keep praying. I always had enough sense to keep praising him and waiting on him. And pray that the Lord will keep me strong. And when I say I'm a different woman. Can't you tell? I was trying to. One of my friends told me that he interpreted that line as if I was pleading with the guy to see, I'm different now. I'm different. But that's not what I was feeling when I wrote that. When I wrote that, I was saying I've changed forever. I am forever changed because of my experience with you. I would never go back to the innocent, sweet, naive Gail that I once was. She is dead and buried, never to be seen again. I'm different now. It's like some experiences you go through change you forever. And I knew that I'm a different woman. Can't you tell? Can't you see it in my eyes? Can't you hear it in my tone that I'm different? So, that's why I go and say, so I'm a different woman. Can't you tell? To hell with all these fairy tales. Because the Gail that you met believed in the Cinderella story. I believed in the Snow White. I believed that a prince would come and rescue me. I would come and fight for me. But now I see to hell with those fairy tales. I'm different now. That part of me is gone. So that's where I was with that. Like, I'm not under any illusion anymore. I have no more romantical fantasy ideas about
this is reality.
Yeah, that somebody's gonna come along, and that's the way I felt at that point.
Whew. That was a lot to unpack. That was a lot to unpack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just F Cinderella, F Snow White, F that prince, F that knight.
Yeah. Because see, I grew up really a lot in my head. And in order to get away from like the harsh realities of my life, I really did escape into those fantasy worlds. I really did believe in the charming. I really did believe in the happily ever after. And I really believed I had that. I really believed I had that. So when all of that came tumbling down, there you go. Now I'm like, F Cinderella,
Yeah, I have no other comments. Like literally, I have no additional comments. I don't think there's anything else to say. But to just, I guess that there needs to be a conversation directly had with, I guess not just that man, but anybody that has or is capable of breaking somebody's heart, just to be able for them to understand the length. There's somebody out there that's at the literally at that line right now, crossing that line or about to cross that line, even as we speak.
Yeah.
But for them to be able to reflect on you and see the outcome of it, and see how much that can transform an individual forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Who would have thought that the worst pain in my life could be the biggest blessing in my life? Like, and when I look at, when I tell you that time, that pain was so transformative. At the end of when I accepted that me and that man were not going to be together and my heart was broken, not only was he removed, but it's like my circle of friendships changed. It's like it was a whole it was just a whole transition where everything changed and started to move in another direction. And I didn't know where God was taking me. But now I'm so thankful, because when I think about that relationship now, I would not be the Gail that you know in that relationship, because so much of me would have had to die in order to be in that relationship. So much of the real Gail. And because I was so blinded by that feeling or whatever it was, I don't know if it was love, but because I was blinded by that, I was willing to give up the greatest parts of me. And God said, absolutely not. God said, absolutely not.
So, what else is there to say? I mean, this has been a real experience tonight, a real deep experience that we've had, not just with Gail, but with Ashley starting up this whole broadcast as we went into the lyrics. But that feeling is something that we can all resonate with. And the thing is, if you're there right now, Gail is a perfect example to show you that there is purpose in your pain. She's a perfect example that that's not where your story ends. There's, story continues after that period. Like, so like wherever you are, if you're in that place, just know that this is not it. It's not over. It's not done. Yes, she expressed a lot of anger. That's fine. Express the anger, cry, do what you got to do, but know that you don't stay there. Don't stay there, because there's more for you to do. There's more for you to do. There's a bigger something coming after that.
Yeah.
And it's about how you, let's talk about, I'm sorry, it's about how you respond.
Yeah.
Because what did James say at one point? As a test of your faith, when your faith is tested. So it's about your response, because I'm not going to act like everybody turns out like Gail, in terms of their approach and their thinking. So what you do, how you respond to the situations does matter. So let's continue to stay positive. Go ahead, say what you were going to say.
Yeah, because I was living in real time these emotions when I was writing this album. On the album, you can see all of the gamut of emotions. So by the time you get to the, if you listen to the album from beginning to end, it'll actually take you through my journey, and it's a year's worth of journey. And the end of the album, the last song is called Victory, because I did realize that I had the victory, but it took a year for me to get there, and then it was still more growth after that. Yes. God bless you too, brother.
All right, so I think we're beginning to struggle with some connection. Yes. I believe we're beginning to struggle with some connections going in and out. I believe that you are here to heal, Gail, and not just heal yourself, but also heal those that can relate to you in this moment, this time. And this is as really as it gets as artists. I want to say thank you for sharing yourself, for your transparency. Thank you for being a vessel to be used and allowing your story to be told today through that song. Well, let's talk about how they can find the album Bloody Waters and how they can connect with you. Ginger, you gonna get your turn.
The album Bloody Waters is on all the major music outlets. If you want an autographed copy of the album, just hit me in the DM or Messenger, and we can arrange for a hard copy of the album. Some people prefer the hard copy. I do.
Well,
yeah,
me too. I mean, I support that all day. 100% funds go to the artist directly.
Yes. So, so it's on all the major music outlets. And shout out to the producer of the album. He produced the whole entire album. Me and him, step by step, every step of the way through my painful process. He was there making the music to accommodate me to expressing myself. Stanley Ipkiss, producer Stanley Ipkiss, also out of Newark. And you can find me on Facebook, Gail Campbell. You can find me on Instagram, Gail_Campbell01. And the producer, Stanley Ipkiss, on Instagram, he's King Ipkiss 26. And on Facebook, he's Stanley Ipkiss. And I always just want people to know that it was a collaborative effort between me and Ip. And I thank God that he sent someone to help me facilitate all of that outpour that needed to happen in me. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. And thank y'all so much for the well wishes on my new marriage. Thank you.
And thank you for definitely coming through into the lyrics. I was trying to type up your Instagram. Say it for me again one more time.
Gail_Campbell01. Gail_Campbell01.
Got it. So for those that are visual, they could see it up on the screen. And mine is on my is literally on my screen. So for those that are not connected with me on Instagram, please connect with me. Follow me at Real God Sent, Facebook, Instagram, at whole 9 yard. Let's continue having conversations. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to connect with all these artists. Gail, you forgot to mention your Cash App.
Oh,
yes.
Let me not forget that. Yep. You know what? I think I just changed my Cash App. Hold on. Let me see what I changed it to, because it used to be. I changed it to something easier. Hold on.
That's for those that don't know. Mine is Real God Sent. Same thing, just with a $sign. a $sign Real God Sent. So for those that definitely do want to be a blessing, if you enjoyed the show, please repost it, reshare it. Tag some friends in it. Pretty much. I know it's a long conversation. I do cut the video to segments, so you're gonna have your own segment, and it's gonna be uploaded to a playlist on my YouTube. So if you wanted to just get your segment and everything like that, usually take me about 2 days to edit it.
I hear that little girl. I hear that little princess.
I think that means it's time for me to go. I'm 19 minutes over time.
Yes, hold on. Let me give you my Cash App.
Yes, let's get your Cash App in here, sis.
My Cash App is Campbell Gail. That's CAMPBELLGAIL. $, of course. $, Campbell Gail. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Campbell Gail.
Thank you.
What is Campbell Gail?
That's it.
Just Campbell Gail. CAMPBELLGAIL. Okay. You said it right. Yeah, you said it real fast. I want to make sure I got it right.
$CAMPBELLGAIL. Gail.
That's it right there. Bam.
That's it.
I got it.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Again, I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. This has been again a blessing. This is the second show. This is episode 2 that we're having. The next one that we'll be having is on Monday. I'll be announcing the features for that specific show. I'll be announcing them sometimes tomorrow. So that you guys please come in, support, come in, check us out. Monday, 6 o'clock. I want to know, is 6 o'clock good for everybody? I really want to know. Let me know if we need to push this back. Right now I'm doing 6 o'clock, but it seems sometimes that people come on a little bit later. But again, thank you for continuously supporting the artist community. Let's continue to stay home. Let's continue to do, what's best for this time. And prayerfully, we'll all get through this time and we'll be with each other again real soon. That's my prayer. And until the next time we're able to get into the lyrics, God bless.
Bye, y'all. Mwah.
Enjoy your night, guys.